one at the end, but just a magnificent timing, picking off passes.
Beautiful. For sure. Let's head back out to Houston. LeBron speaking with Mike Trudell.
LeBron, coming off a kind of physically, emotionally demanding game like Denver, you knew this was going to be a grind against the way Houston plays. How were you guys able to generate the kind of the defense, the energy that you needed in the second half?
I mean, like I said before, listen, you can't harp on the game previously too long because it's another game coming up, and like I always talk about the Wild Wild West, it's another tough opponent. So, excuse me, we understand what Houston brings to the table: physicality, athleticism, everything, and we just have to match that. And obviously, they beat us up on the glass. A lot of we didn't defensive rebound and clean glass like we can, but we just stuck with the game plan. Held them to like 37 in the second half or something like that, and 35 in the second half. And that's ingredients for winning. We buckled down on the defensive end.
You know better than anybody what Durant can do with a basketball. What was the kind of key to get it out of his hands and to create all the turnovers that happen out of that?
Try to show him different looks throughout the game. I mean, he's one of the greatest players we've ever seen play. Obviously, so just got to try to show him different looks, try to keep him off balance, and when he shoots, hope he miss. He don't miss many shots. I thought we did a good job of having a game plan, but also just switching up our pitches. You can't show a great like that too many of the same coverages throughout the whole game. He'll get a feel for it. So did a good job of just kind of switching up the pitches.
How would you evaluate this team's commitment to the defensive end of the floor now compared to earlier in the season?
Not comparing nothing early in the season, just talking about the present. So I continue to talk about what we are now. We just try to stay locked in on what needs to be done today, and we did that. So we got better today, and we got an opportunity to look over to some of the things we could have did better tomorrow, and then hopefully get better again on Wednesday.
What does it say about this team in the fourth quarter? You guys were like 1 for 14, 1 for 15 from the field, but you guys kept playing defense, didn't give into anything. What does it say about what you guys are doing on defense?
It's kind of like playoff basketball. It's going to happen, so two playoff teams, just figuring out how to get a bucket, but also trying to stay focused and locked in on both sides of the floor. That's sometimes how playoff basketball is. You can't just rely on the offensive end. You got to be able to buckle down and get stops.
You guys were able to take care of the ball pretty well. You guys had one turnover in the fourth quarter, and it was the shot clock violation there at the very end. What were you guys doing well, even if you weren't scoring, but not to make those mental mistakes?
Shots up at the goal. That's it. We didn't let them speed us up. They're very physical. Like I said, they're very athletic, and they can speed you up at times. So, sorry, we did a great job of not allowing them to speed us up, and we got shots up at the goal.
What do you think of the way that Ayton finished the game?
It was amazing. I mean, just the fact that he was sitting over there for as long as he did and stayed locked in on the game and come in and finish the game. Able to get a tip dunk, a couple jump hooks around the rim. A couple rebounds. He helped us finish the game.
LeBron, to be physically here in year 23, able to have those splash plays, the one over Jabari Smith Jr. in the first half, the lob from Austin in the second, just, I don't know, it's not surprised that you're able to still do it, but do you...
It kind of is.
Is it for you?
Yeah, it kind of is at times.
Either of those surprised?
I don't know if any of those surprised me. I mean, the one in the first half, I seen him tracking me, so, he's a pretty good shot blocker, so I had to throw that down. The lob from AR, I told him to throw it, so I had to go get it. But there's some plays I still do at this point in my career where it definitely surprised me for sure.
Last two.
How did you come out of the game on Sunday? The dive, all that stuff. We saw the super gross thing.
I didn't even show you the one on my hip, by the way. Yeah, I wasn't gonna post that. That's too much. I was pretty banged up on the flight. Obviously, we had to get on the plane the next day, so I was pretty banged up on the flight coming here, and pretty banged up, last night. But got about 9.5 hours of sleep last night, and woke up, and I felt a lot better. I was able to get some rehab and treatment and activation going today, so it allowed me to play tonight. But definitely was around the clock with it.
Kevin, last question.
Kevin said the other day that the Miami version of you was the hardest player he ever had to guard. Are any versions of Kevin, would you say, the hardest player that you've had to guard?
Shit. I mean, every version. I mean, he continues to just get better and better and better. I mean, obviously him in Golden State was super dynamic because you just couldn't put multiple bodies in front of him because of the threat of Clay and Steph at all time. So that was super dynamic, and also his time in Brooklyn too. When you know, obviously a little bit of the smaller sample, but when Kyrie and James was out there, you couldn't put multiple bodies. Anytime you can't put multiple bodies in front of a great like that has that ability to score the ball is very challenging, you know. And also we had our battles in the finals too. I mean, obviously, I mean, listen, even when he was young, and you know, him and Russ and James, he's never not been great at basketball. So every version.
Let's talk LeBron. He got a lot of praise from JJ just on the level, the effort, the efficiency. Just 13 shots, still ends up 18, 5 and 5. We talked about kind of what it took to get there, Danny, to play tonight after the Nuggets game. But he continues to amaze at 41.
Yeah, and I think the small things are what amazes people. It's impressive to see him dive on loose balls, you know, rebound, box out, like doing the little things. If this guy at 41 can do it, there's no excuse for anybody else to not run the floor on defense, on offense, you know, get deflections, get steals, still finish at the rim and be aggressive. You know, some guys you just like begging, oh, go get the rebound, you know, go attack the rim. You don't have to ask LeBron to do any of those things. And again, the icing on the cake is him just doing the Marcus Smart plays, diving on the floor like head first, looking like Dennis Rodman. You just don't see that from many guys, especially a 41-year-old that's accomplished everything and broken every record in the book damn near. So you got to give him every time we see him play, we say got to appreciate it, and you give him his flowers as many chances as you can while we can.
He's having fun too, I think, while he's doing it. You know, he missed training camp, came back, started to deliver, missed some games. Now they're trying to, you know, incorporate Austin and Luka on the floor at the same time. He's accepted that, and now he's found, you know, a role he can play and do both. He can be a role player, never gonna be a role player, but you know, he can play that role, and also when he needs to, he can get the ball in his hands and go back to being LeBron and dominate if Austin and Luka aren't available. So it's going to be interesting to see if as they go out this season, if it's going to be a problem for teams how to guard that.
Yeah.
You know, they're used to having LeBron with the ball in front of him, with him on that weak side and playing that role. It's going to be interesting to see because they're going to get better at it, I believe.
I think that's always been his brilliance, right? That he can absolutely play any position on the court and he can play any role. He's seen it all in his 23 seasons. All right, we're headed to break. Lakers have now won 9 of their last 10. They sit at 3rd in the Western Conference, 192 the final score in Houston. Austin Reeves speaks to the media. Coming up next. At 43 and 25, they win 100-92. They hold the Rockets to 12 fourth-quarter points. Jabari Smith led the way, 22. Kevin Durant, after 16 first-half points, ends up with 18. 24 turnovers for the Rockets as the Lakers are led by Luka's 36, LeBron's 18, and Austin's 15. The mini playoff series continues Wednesday night. Same time, same place, same channel. 6:30 tip-off from Houston. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet.